Coming up on Network Africa, people all over the world celebrate Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. President Muhammadu Buhari asked Nigerians to live in peace with neighbors, irrespective of differences, in his Christmas message. Plus, Algeria bids farewell to military chief Ahmed Gaid Salah. Merry Christmas and welcome everyone to the program. I'm Millicent Walker. Now, Christians all over the world are celebrating Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. In the Christian world, the event commemorates the most profound demonstration of God's love for mankind as he sends humanity a savior. The church in the early 4th century fixed December the 25th as the date to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, while it is also observed as a public holiday in many countries of the world, including Nigeria. While Christmas is traditionally a Christian festival, it is also observed culturally by many non-Christians. It is generally observed as a season of love, peace and goodwill among mankind, with Christians showing gratitude to God for coming into the world in the form of man to atone for the sins of humanity. Here in Nigeria, many Christians begin the day with church services followed by exchange of visits and gifts with friends and loved ones, while many others throng entertainment and amusement spots. Live in peace with your neighbors, irrespective of your differences. That is the Christmas message from Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. He's asking Nigerians to strengthen the bonds of brotherhood and good neighborliness and focusing on all that binds us together as one united country. President Buhari has also sent warning to insurgents, terrorists, armed robbers, kidnappers, including economic saboteurs, to retrace their steps or face the full wrath of the law. His warning is contained in his Christmas Day message to citizens of Nigeria. The president adds that if the culprits refuse to heed this call, they will meet their end, as the armed forces, security and law enforcement agencies are poised to confront and defeat them. Indeed, it's another Christmas celebration when the message of tolerance, love and forgiveness is re-emphasized. The parish priest of St. Leo's Catholic Church in Lagos says the celebration of Christmas would mean nothing if the virtues of Jesus Christ are not imbibed. Well, our correspondent Loretta Chiogo was at Mass to usher in today.
With very solemn entry at the midnight hour, the Mass kicks off. It's Christmas morning. The remembrance of the holy birth of Jesus Christ remains a mystery and revered moment in the Christendom. The celebration leads the priest to his words for the season. And just like the priest, parishioners call for peace and tranquility in a country battling to stay its head above the waters of insecurity.
The reason why Christ came to this earth was because of love, and nothing but love. In everything, in every circumstance, we need to forgive and forget every offense anybody have committed against us. Try and imbibe the life of peace and unity. Forgive. Tribalism is not anything that can lead us to anywhere. Nepotism cannot serve us. Hate can never lead us anywhere. Only love of Christ can set us free.
This is a period where we need to pause and reflect on the message of Christmas and more so internalize it. internalize it in every aspect of our lives, as in our families, our workplaces, in our homes, our neighborhoods. And I believe that because the success of the nation starts with the family.
The morning breaks with high hopes of a better world through the celebration of Jesus' birth. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Well, joining us now is Canon Akin Omoyajowo, an Anglican priest, to discuss more about the significance of today. We'd like to welcome you to Network
Thank you very much.
All right, tell us the true meaning of Christmas to Nigeria and the world.
Okay. The meaning of Christmas is a word for Christ and Mass, which celebrates the birth of Christ and the essence of his coming into the world, the humility that he brought in, and then his death and resurrection that brought salvation to Christians. Yeah.
So now, looking at the fact that it's celebrated worldwide by Christians, non-Christians also join in, the celebrations and the holiday. But is there a particular way to celebrate Christmas Day?
More than anything, the focus has always been on the work of salvation that he came to do. And for anybody that's celebrating Christmas, there should be the connection with the start and the finish of Christ, which is the birth, which we are celebrating now at Christmas. And then the end of it, which is the death of Christ and his resurrection, which makes the total and complete journey for his life. And then the way it should be celebrated is to accept that person and accept his ministry, accept the work he came to do, and then live by the dictates that he wanted.
Perhaps similar message coming from the president of Nigeria with regards to how people should eschew violence and, everybody should live in peace.
Yes.
Some also believe that there is a concerted effort to eliminate the word Christmas from the public discourse. You're a custodian of, the law in the Anglican Church. Can you explain to us, is there like a cultural war on that?
I won't call it a cultural war. If you call it a cultural war, then you want to bring it to small battles. But it's a war that has been declared on virtually everything, on the norms, on the values, on the things we protected, on the things we took as our life. And when I say a war declared, I mean so many things now had been, things that we hear in the past that will shock you, have now become the norm, where people now take as, yes, one of those things. And that is what is coming to affect Christmas also, where people are now saying, now let's remove Christ from the Mass and let's just do at Xmas. It can be anything Mass. It can be Santa Claus focus. It can be anything focus. But no, it has nothing to do with all other things. It has to do with the birth of Christ, the celebration of the birth of Christ, the celebration of his coming into the world, the humility that he attained is coming into the world, and then his growth and his death. And that's all that Christmas has to do with.
Before we get your final message on this Christmas Day, we heard Nigeria was placed on the special watch list by the United States with regards to violations to religious freedoms. Would you say that Christians and even other religions are facing this in Nigeria?
Oh, of course, yes. And it's not limited to Nigeria alone. But I want to say from Nigeria, my own perception of Nigeria, of course, there is this cloud. And it is a satanic concerted effort to bring down the relevance of what Christianity really is. And that's why you see that there are so many agents now of the devil himself now becoming pastors and this and that in all of what we are saying. But to the real sense of it, God has not lowered the standard. The standard will be his standard. And there is still that consciousness of God in so many ministers of God and the church. And that is why the church is still the light that will still bring back that salvation into people. For anybody that will understand what I mean, that person will connect with God. I was sharing with someone this just now before I came into I said to him, why do you believe in Christ? I said, because I had an encounter. Without having an encounter, there cannot be a belief. I had an encounter. My encounter gives me salvation. And that salvation, I'm convinced within myself that I am on the right path.
Do you think the government can help? We have the constitution that also protects the rights of people, and that's also the rights of religion as well.
Yeah.
Do you think it can help better things?
If you look at what is happening now, you will see different kinds of laws coming up. And when these laws come up, they become also the constitution that you are going back to say. And you will see the effort to quash what we have now is very, very real. And religious freedom is becoming something that we now need to go to court to contest again now, to come to think of so many things. So many things have now becoming a sin. For anybody to do this, it now becomes an offense unto someone else, And so to say that government will help, this government can help. And I think the government has been speaking from the two sides of the mouth, if you understand what I mean. But I still believe that there is still more to do in this area of the religion.
So what's your Christmas message to Nigerians in a sentence?
Okay, in a sentence. This Christmas season is a season of love. And whatever we do, we should do in the concept of love. Would I like it done to me? Would I be happy if you treat me the same way I treat you? I think that should be the first question everybody should ask themselves.
All right, many thanks, Canon Aki Omoyajo, for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you very much.
Abuja, the federal capital city, is also ready, wearing a new look, ready for Christmas and New Year celebrations. As Christmas lights adorn some parts of the city, adding to the festive mood. Our correspondent Linda Kigbe captured that. Here's the report.
Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, is all set for Christmas and New Year celebrations. The city is wearing a new look. Christmas lights adorn the streets, creating spectacular colors in the city. The capital city has not seen this display of lights in the last 2 years.
It's quite beautiful, actually. It's a good environment to show the spirit of celebration and festivity, especially for the kids.
At the central area, a Christmas display of lights has been set up to entertain and captivate residents.
It's a wonderful development. It's good. Of course, lights. The light helps with our mood at Christmas. So yes, the more lights we have in the Abuja city, the better for the residents of Abuja.
Adults and children from different parts of the city come in to savor the sights and sounds of the Christmas village of lights.
My dad said that we should come here this evening. I was thinking about tomorrow, but this place will be filled, as he said. So we're just going to spend our Christmas Eve here. The lights, they are shining and make the place bright.
I was actually impressed when I saw them. I wasn't expecting it, but when I saw them, I was like, oh, look. It's nice.
As residents praise the display, they anticipate that this is repeated during the next Christmas and New Year celebrations. Linda Akibi, Channels Television News.
Algeria is bidding farewell to its late military chief of staff, Lieutenant General Ahmed Gaid Salah. The funeral held today in the capital, Algiers, as officials and family members mourned his loss. General Salah is said to have died of a heart attack on Monday, December the 23rd, throwing Africa's largest country into further uncertainty 10 months into its political crisis. Opposition protests have been held each Tuesday and Friday since February as they seek to bring down the ruling elite, to push the military from its decades-old place as kingmakers in the national politics and to end corruption. Eritrean President Isis Afwerki is in Addis Ababa for his first meeting with the Ethiopian Prime Minister since Abiy Ahmed won the Nobel Peace Prize for initiating a thaw between these sparring neighbors. Now, Eritrea and Ethiopia fought a border war in 1998 to 2000 that left an estimated 80,000 dead before a prolonged stalemate took hold. Shortly after he came to power last year, 43-year-old Abiy stormed observers at home and abroad by reaching out to Azais and creating momentum for a peace deal. Prime Minister Abiy welcomed Azais at Addis Ababa's Bo International Airport. During his stay in Ethiopia, the Eritrean president is expected to meet with the Ethiopian officials to discuss bilateral issues. And still to come on the program, Christian faithfuls gather in South Africa for end of the year Thanksgiving. Please stay with us for more.